5-star restaurant, candlelight, romantic music playing softly, table 9. Nolan sits alone, holding a single red rose. He's been waiting 45 minutes. His phone buzzes. A text. Sorry, you're not my type. I'm not coming. Nolan sighs, sets down the rose, stands to leave. Table 10, right beside him. Audrey sits alone, face cold as ice. But her hand grips her wine glass so tightly her knuckles turn white. Nolan notices her checking her watch repeatedly. Leans over the divider between tables, whispering sympathetically. Looks like your blind date didn't show up either. Audrey's eyes light up. She grabs Nolan's wrist, pulls him into the seat across from her. He did show up. It's you. Sit down and smile, darling husband. The show is starting.
Wait, what just happened? Nolan was trying to be nice and now he's suddenly promoted to husband? Look at the door. Ah, I see why. Audrey's toxic ex-boyfriend just walked in with a supermodel. She needs a human shield, and Nolan is the chosen one. Can he pull off this act?
Nolan barely processes what's happening before Audrey leans forward, hissing through a forced smile. My ex-boyfriend just walked in. He's heading this way. Help me act happy for 30 minutes, and I'll pay for this entire dinner plus compensation for your time. Nolan glances toward the entrance. A man in an expensive suit, model-perfect hair, smugness radiating from every pore. A woman in a dress that costs more than Nolan's monthly rent clings to his arm. The man, Brad, Nolan assumes, spots Audrey. His trajectory shifts, coming straight for their table. Quick decision, Audrey whispers urgently. Are you in? Nolan looks at her, really looks. Beneath the CEO Ice Queen exterior, he sees something familiar. Hurt. The kind that comes from being made to feel small by someone who promised to make you feel big. He knows that hurt. His ex-wife gave him the same wound. I'm in. Relief floods Audrey's face for a microsecond before the mask returns. Brad arrives at their table. Audrey, what a surprise seeing you here. His tone drips with false pleasantness. Dining alone again? Before Audrey can respond, Nolan does something that surprises even himself. He reaches across the table, gently brushes a strand of hair behind Audrey's ear. The gesture is tender, natural, the kind of thing he does for Ruby when she's focused on her homework. Sorry I'm late, sweetheart. Nolan picks up the red rose from table 9, presents it to Audrey like they planned this. I had to find the deep red velvet rose, the one you love. Took me 3 flower shops. Audrey's eyes widen. She wasn't expecting him to be good at this. Brad's confident smile falters. And you are? Nolan. He stands, extends his hand, professional but not deferential. Audrey's fiancé. The word hangs in the air. Audrey chokes slightly on her wine but recovers with a cough. Brad ignores the handshake. Studies Nolan with obvious disdain. The cheap suit, the calloused hands, the complete lack of designer anything. Fiancé? Really, Audrey? You moved on to... this? Brad gestures vaguely at Nolan. I thought you had standards. I raised them, actually. Audrey's voice is pure ice. That's why you're standing there and he's sitting here. Brad's date tugs his arm. Babe, our table is ready. One moment, Tiffany. Brad leans on their table, invading their space. How long has this been going on? Because 2 months ago you were crying over our breakup. 2 months ago I was crying over wasted time. Audrey takes Nolan's hand across the table. Her fingers are cold, trembling slightly despite her steady voice. Now I'm grateful you left. Made room for someone actually worthy. Nolan squeezes her hand, protective instinct kicking in. This isn't just acting anymore. He genuinely dislikes Brad. Enjoy your evening, Nolan says firmly. We certainly will. Brad opens his mouth to retort. Tiffany pulls harder. Brad, people are staring. They are. Half the restaurant is watching this drama unfold. Brad forces a laugh. Well, best of luck to you both. You'll need it. He looks pointedly at Nolan's suit, at Audrey's designer dress. The mismatch obvious. I give it 3 months. He walks away. Tiffany's heels clicking. Their table is directly across the room. Perfect sightline to Audrey and Nolan. Perfect position for Brad to watch and judge and wait for them to fail. Audrey exhales shakily. Releases Nolan's hand. I'm sorry. That was effective, Nolan finishes. But we're not done. He's watching. We need to sell this. You don't have to. He said you were crying 2 months ago. Nolan meets her eyes. Nobody who makes you cry deserves to see you anything but happy. So let's give him a show. Audrey stares at him. This stranger who just volunteered to be her shield, her fake fiancé, her unexpected ally. Why are you helping me? Because I know what it's like to be dismissed by someone who should have valued you. Nolan picks up his menu. Plus, I'm already here. My actual date bailed. Might as well make the evening count. A genuine smile cracks Audrey's icy facade. Small, but real. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. We still have to make it through dinner without blowing our cover. Nolan grins. Fair warning. I have no idea which fork to use first. Audrey laughs. Actually laughs. Light and surprised. Across the room, Brad's jaw tightens. The show has begun. The waiter arrives with menus. Nolan opens his, nearly chokes at the prices. The cheapest entree costs more than a week's groceries. Order whatever you want, Audrey says quietly. This is on me. I'm paying my half. Nolan, you don't have to. I know, but I don't let women pay. Even in fake relationships. He scans the menu. Besides, we're engaged. Engaged men don't let their fiancés cover everything. Audrey's expression softens. Brad always made me pay. Said since I earned more, it was only fair. Brad's an idiot, she laughs. Twice in 5 minutes. A record lately. They order. Nolan chooses the second cheapest item. Audrey orders something French he can't pronounce. So, tell me about yourself, fiancé. Audrey leans back, playing the role but genuinely curious. What do you do? Landscaper, residential gardens mostly, some commercial properties. He shrugs. Honest work. I like making things grow. That's beautiful. Doesn't pay like being a CEO, though. He nods toward Brad. Investment banking? Yes. He never let me forget he made more until I got promoted. Then suddenly I was too ambitious, too focused, too successful. Her fingers tighten on her glass. Funny how that works. Not funny, insecure. Nolan studies her. You're not too anything. He was too small to handle your success. Nobody's ever said that to her. Not friends, not family. Certainly not Brad. Thank you. Just the truth. Appetizers arrive. Fancy soup. Nolan watches Audrey, follows her spoon choice. You have a daughter? She noticed him texting earlier. Ruby, 8 years old, staying with my mom tonight. His whole face changes, lights up. She made me promise to bring home dessert. 8-year-olds are excellent negotiators. What's she like? Fearless, curious, too smart for her own good, wants to be a botanist. Pride saturates every word. Last week she started cataloging every plant in our neighborhood. 73 species so far. That's incredible. That's Ruby. He shows his phone wallpaper. A girl with wild curls, gap-toothed grin, holding a sunflower bigger than her head. She's my whole world. Audrey stares at the pure love in his eyes. Brad never looked at her like that. Never looked at anything like that except his own reflection. You're a good father. I try. It's just us two. Nolan tucks the phone away. Her mom left when Ruby was 2. Said motherhood wasn't what she expected. I'm sorry. I'm not. Ruby deserves people who choose her every day. Main courses arrive. They eat, talk. The conversation flows easier than it should between strangers. Audrey tells him about CEO pressure, the loneliness, how Brad resented her success. Nolan tells her about building his business from nothing, working 3 jobs when Ruby had pneumonia, learning to braid hair from YouTube. They laugh, real laughter, not performance. Across the room, Brad watches, jaw tightening. You have something. Nolan gestures to his mouth. What? Audrey dabs with her napkin. Here. He reaches across without thinking, the way he does with Ruby constantly. His thumb gently wipes sauce from her lip. Natural, intimate, unself-conscious. Time stops. His thumb lingers. Their eyes lock. Everything fades. The restaurant, the diners, the clinking silverware. Brad. Just this moment, this touch, this unexpected connection. Nolan pulls back. Sorry, force of habit. Ruby's a messy eater. It's okay. Audrey's voice is softer. Thank you. Not for the napkin service. For something bigger. For being gentle, present. For treating her like a person instead of a trophy or threat. For 37 years, Audrey built walls. Became ice because ice doesn't break. But this stranger just melted something frozen. Audrey? Yes? Are we still acting? The question hangs heavy. Before she can answer, Brad appears again. Tiffany trailing behind, looking bored. Sorry to interrupt. Brad's not sorry. Tiffany wanted to congratulate you. Didn't you, babe? Congratulations, Tiffany mumbles. When's the wedding? Brad asks, too interested, eager to catch them lying. We haven't set a date, Audrey says smoothly. Really? Most couples pick one right away. Brad's smile is poisonous. Or maybe you're not as serious as you claim. We're taking our time, Nolan interjects. Unlike some people, we don't rush into things we're not ready for. The barb lands. Brad rushed their relationship, then resented the commitment. Where did you meet? Tiffany asks. Audrey and Nolan exchange glances. No backstory prepared. Community garden, Nolan says smoothly. I was teaching rose cultivation. Audrey was learning. You garden? Brad laughs. Audrey, you kill cacti. I wanted to learn, Audrey says defensively. True. She's terrible with plants. And I'm patient. Nolan takes her hand. She's gotten better. We planted tulips last week. Complete lie. Sounds true. Fascinating. Brad doesn't find it fascinating. Well, enjoy your evening. He turns back. Oh, Audrey? That dress? Valentino? Fall collection? His voice carries. Must be nice having someone who can afford you. Unlike... He gestures at Nolan's suit. Present company. The insult lands like a slap.
Okay, are they still acting? Because that eye contact is intense. Nolan treats her like a princess, not because she's a CEO, but because that's just who he is. Brad is fuming over there. Karma is serving dessert early tonight, folks.
Nolan's jaw tightens. His hand clenches around his fork. But before he can respond, Audrey stands. Slowly. Deliberately. You're right, Brad. I am expensive. But not in the way you think. She steps closer. I'm expensive because I require respect. Honesty. Emotional availability. Things that cost nothing financially but everything personally. She looks at Nolan. He can afford me because he's rich in everything that matters. You couldn't afford me because you're bankrupt in everything that counts. The restaurant goes quiet, everyone watching. Brad's face flushes red. This is pathetic. Pretending some landscaper in a cheap suit is your soulmate. We both know you'll be crawling back in a month. The only pathetic thing here is you caring so much about my happiness. Audrey sits back down, dismissing him. Now please, we're trying to enjoy our dinner, alone. Brad doesn't leave. Instead, he grabs his wine glass from the passing waiter. Red wine. Full glass. You know what? I'm done being polite. He raises the glass, aims it at Nolan. Let me show you what I think of your little performance. The entire restaurant holds its breath. Nolan sees it coming. Could dodge. Could duck. Instead, he stands. Places himself between Brad and Audrey. Takes the wine meant for humiliation and intercepts it with his hand. Catches the glass mid-throw. Not a drop spills. The move is smooth. Practiced. The reflexes of someone who's caught plenty of things his daughter has knocked over. He sets the glass firmly on the table. The sound echoes in the silence. I think you should leave now. Nolan's voice is calm, but there's steel underneath. The kind of strength that doesn't need to shout. Brad laughs, nervous. Or what? You'll landscaping me to death? No. I'll ask you one more time politely to respect this woman and walk away. Nolan steps forward. He's taller than Brad. Broader. Not from gym memberships, but from actual physical work. After that, I stop asking politely. Are you threatening me? I'm protecting her. There's a difference. Brad looks around, realizes everyone is staring, not at Nolan, at him, with disgust, with judgment. The maitre d' approaches. Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. You're disturbing our other guests. Fine. This place is overrated anyway. Brad grabs Tiffany's arm. Come on. Actually, Tiffany pulls free. I'm staying. For dessert. Alone. She sits at an empty table. I think I've seen enough for tonight. Brad stands there. Abandoned. Humiliated. Alone. Audrey, he tries one last time. You'll regret this. When you're living in some tiny house wearing last season's clothes, wishing you'd stayed with someone on your level. My level? Audrey stands beside Nolan. This man just caught a wine glass to protect me. Treated me with more dignity in 1 hour than you did in 3 years. Talked about his daughter with more love than you've ever shown anything. She takes Nolan's hand. If that's not my level, then I've been aiming too low my entire life. The restaurant erupts in applause. Actual applause. Other diners clapping. A woman shouts, "You go, girl!" Brad's face goes from red to purple. He storms out. The door slams behind him. The maitre d' approaches their table. Your meal tonight is compliments of the house, and I apologize for that disturbance. Thank you, Audrey manages. People return to their meals. The excitement fades. Normal conversation resumes. Audrey sits heavily. Her hands shake. Adrenaline crash. Are you okay? Nolan asks gently. I just told off my ex-boyfriend in front of 100 people. You did. I've never done that before. Never stood up to him. You were magnificent. I was terrified. She looks at him. Really looks at him. But you were there. Catching wine glasses like some kind of superhero. Superhero dad powers. They come with the territory. He smiles. Ruby once threw an entire bowl of spaghetti at me during a tantrum. After that, wine glasses are easy. Audrey laughs, shaky but genuine. Thank you. For protecting me. For playing along. For everything. You're welcome. I should pay you. Like I promised. For the acting. I wasn't acting. Nolan says it quietly. Simply. Not about the important parts. You do deserve respect. You are worth defending. And Brad is an idiot for not seeing it. Audrey's breath catches. Nolan. I know this started as fake. As a performance. But somewhere between the soup and the wine glass. He shrugs. I forgot we were pretending. Me too. They sit in silence. The weight of confession between them. The waiter brings dessert, compliments of the house, chocolate soufflé, crème brûlée. Ruby's going to be so jealous, Nolan says, breaking the tension. She made me promise to bring dessert home. We could get it to go, both of them. She can have her choice. She'd love that. He pauses. Would you, if you're not busy, would you like to meet her? Tomorrow, maybe? We could do the garden thing? Actually do it. Not as a lie. Audrey's eyes widen. You want me to meet your daughter? Only if you want to. No pressure. I think she'd like you. And I know I do. Like you, I mean. He's fumbling now. Nervous. This is coming out wrong. It's coming out perfect. Audrey reaches across, takes his hand. Yes. I'd love to meet Ruby. And see your garden. And maybe figure out if this thing between us is real. I think it might be. Me too. They finish dessert. Box up 2 more slices for Ruby. The restaurant staff treats them like celebrities. Other diners smile at them. One woman stops by their table. I just wanted to say, that was the bravest thing I've ever seen. Good for you, honey. She squeezes Audrey's shoulder. And you, young man. That's how a real gentleman behaves. Nolan nods, embarrassed by the attention. They settle the bill. Audrey tries to pay. Nolan insists on splitting it. They compromise. She covers the meal, he covers the tip. That tip is almost as much as the entree, Audrey whispers. They earned it. Best dinner theater I've ever seen. He grins. Outside, snow begins to fall. Soft, gentle flakes catching in Audrey's hair. The city sparkles with holiday lights. Couples walk hand in hand. The world feels magical. Audrey shivers. Her coat is designer but thin. Fashion over function. Nolan shrugs off his jacket. It's worn. Probably older than Ruby. But it's warm. Here, I can't take your jacket. You'll freeze. I'm from Minnesota originally. This is shorts weather. He drapes it over her shoulders anyway. Besides, landscapers build up cold tolerance. CEOs don't. She pulls it close. It smells like him. Soap and something earthy. Safe. They stand on the sidewalk. Neither quite ready to leave. I should get home, Audrey says, not moving. Me too. Ruby's probably still awake. She never sleeps well when I'm out. Nolan doesn't move either. Thank you again, for tonight, for being my fake fiancé, for being real when it mattered. Thank you for pulling me into your chaos. Best blind date that wasn't a blind date I've ever had. Audrey laughs, pulls out her phone. Can I get your number for tomorrow? The garden thing. Right, yes. He recites it. She types it in. Her fingers hover over the screen. What should I save you as? Nolan works. That's boring, she thinks. Fake fiancé? Future real boyfriend? He says it jokingly. Mostly jokingly. Audrey's cheeks flush, not from cold. Confident. Hopeful. She saves him as garden hero. Shows him. I like it. A car pulls up. Audrey's driver. Black sedan. Expensive. That's me. She starts to remove his jacket. Keep it. Give it back tomorrow. Are you sure? Gives you a reason to see me again. He opens the car door for her. Plus, you look good in it. Audrey slides in, pauses before he closes the door. Nolan? What Brad said. About my level. About you not being able to afford me. Audrey, it's okay. I know I'm not. You're not what? Not rich, not polished, not some finance bro in an overpriced suit? She leans forward. Good. Because those men are a dime a dozen. But men who catch wine glasses to protect someone? Who talk about their daughters with genuine love? Who treat strangers with kindness? She smiles. Those men are priceless, and I can't afford to let one slip away. Nolan's throat tightens. I'll see you tomorrow? Text me your address. I'll bring coffee. Ruby likes hot chocolate? With extra marshmallows. Done. He closes the door, steps back, watches the car pull away. His phone buzzes immediately. Unknown number. I forgot to ask, are you really not cold? He types back, freezing, but it was worth it. Response. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Don't be late, fiancé. He smiles, starts walking to the bus stop. It's a long ride home. His jacket is gone. Snow is falling harder. He's never been happier. At home, Ruby waits up despite promises to sleep. Daddy, did you bring dessert? 2 kinds. Your choice. 2? She bounces. Was your date that good? Nolan thinks about Audrey. About catching wine glasses and fake engagements that became real feelings. Yeah, Ruby. It was that good. Will you see her again? Tomorrow. She's coming here, to see our garden. Ruby's eyes widen. A girl is coming to see our garden? Daddy, this is serious. It might be. Is she nice? Very nice. Is she pretty? Beautiful. Does she like you? I think so. Ruby studies him with 8-year-old wisdom. Do you like her? Nolan thinks about how to answer honestly. I think I might be falling for her, princess. Ruby grins, gap-toothed, knowing. Good. You deserve to be happy, Daddy. So do you. I am happy, but I'd be happier with a mom. She says it casually, goes back to her dessert. Nolan's heart squeezes. He's tried to be enough. Mother and father. But Ruby wants what she's missing. Let's see what happens, okay? Don't get too excited. Too late. I'm already planning the wedding. She takes a bite of creme brulee. This is the best dessert ever. Your date has good taste. She does, Nolan agrees. She picked me, didn't she? Ruby throws a marshmallow at him. He catches it. Obviously. His phone buzzes again. Audrey. I'm home. Your jacket smells like pine cones and safety. I might never give it back. Nolan. Keep it. I'll get a new one. Audrey. Or you could get it back in person, repeatedly, over many dates. Nolan. Is that your way of asking me out? Audrey. That's my way of saying tonight wasn't fake for me either. Nolan stares at his phone. At this woman who went from stranger to fake fiancé to something real in 3 hours. Nolan. See you tomorrow, Audrey. Audrey. See you tomorrow, garden hero. Sweet dreams. He dreams of gardens and wine glasses and second chances found at table 10 in a 5-star restaurant. Sometimes the best love stories start with the worst blind dates. 1 year later. Spring. The garden behind Audrey's townhouse blooms with color. Roses, tulips, daisies, a vegetable patch Ruby insisted on. Everything Nolan planted with patient hands and expert knowledge. Audrey kneels in the dirt. Designer jeans she doesn't mind ruining. Hair in a messy ponytail. No makeup. Gloves covered in soil. She's planting tomatoes. Badly. But enthusiastically. Mom, you're doing it wrong again. Ruby giggles. Corrects her technique. The roots need more space. Mom. Ruby started calling her that 6 months ago. Audrey cried for an hour. I'm trying, sweetheart. You're getting better. Remember when you killed Dad's cactus? In my defense, who knew you could overwater a cactus? Nolan emerges from the house carrying lemonade. He lives here now. Moved in 3 months ago. His apartment lease ended. Audrey's place had room. It made sense. Plus, they were engaged. For real this time. The ring on Audrey's finger is simple. Not the massive diamond Brad would have chosen. Just a silver band with a small emerald. Ruby helped pick it. Said it matched her mom's eyes. How's the garden coming? Nolan asks. I only killed 2 plants this week, Audrey announces proudly. Progress. He kisses the top of her head. Last month it was 5. I'm learning. Slowly. Very slowly. Ruby runs to the vegetable patch. Checks on her seedlings. Catalogs everything in her notebook. 73 species in their old neighborhood. 215 in their new garden. She's happy, Audrey observes. She is. Thanks to you. Nolan sits beside her. Takes her dirt-covered hand. We both are. I never thought I'd be this person. Gardening on Saturday mornings. Packing school lunches. Arguing about bedtime. Regrets? Not even one. She leans into him. Brad called last week. From his new number. What did he want? To apologize. Said he realized what he lost. Asked if there was any chance. She trails off. What did you say? I said I was busy planting tomatoes with my daughter and didn't have time for people who only value me when I'm gone. Audrey smiles. Then I blocked him. Again. That's my girl. Your fiancé, she corrects. Your real fiancé, not the fake one from that restaurant. Best fake relationship that became real I've ever had. Ruby runs back. Dad! Mom! The tomatoes are flowering. We'll have actual tomatoes soon. They join her. The 3 of them crowding around tiny yellow flowers. Ruby explains pollination. Audrey listens intently. Nolan watches his 2 favorite people together. That disastrous blind date led to this. To family. To home. To Ruby calling Audrey Mom, and Audrey wearing dirt-stained jeans without caring. To love that started as performance and became the realest thing in his life. Later. Evening. Ruby's asleep. Nolan and Audrey sit on the back porch, watching fireflies, drinking wine. Do you remember what you asked me that night? Audrey says quietly. In the restaurant. You asked if we were still acting. I remember. I never answered. You didn't need to. I could tell. I want to answer now. She turns to him, takes both his hands. I stopped acting the moment you wiped sauce off my lip. That's when I knew this wasn't fake anymore. That's when I started falling. Me too. That exact moment. Really? Really. You looked at me like I mattered. Like I was enough. Nobody ever looked at me like that. He brushes hair from her face. Still don't know what I did to deserve you. You caught a wine glass. Protected me. Loved your daughter loud enough that I could hear what real love sounds like. Audrey kisses him softly. You deserve everything, Nolan. And I'm going to spend the rest of my life proving it. The rest of your life? That's a long time. Not long enough. They sit in comfortable silence, planning wedding details, debating honeymoon destinations, arguing about whether Ruby should be flower girl or junior bridesmaid. Inside, on the mantel, sits a framed photo. From that night. A stranger took it when they weren't looking. Nolan and Audrey at table 10, hands linked, laughing. The moment two blind dates that didn't show up accidentally brought soulmates together. The best fake relationship that became the realest love story.
My heart just melted. From a disastrous blind date to a fairy tale romance, Nolan showed that a true gentleman shines brighter than any diamond, and Audrey finally found someone who loves her for her, not her status. If you ever get stood up, look around. Your soulmate might be sitting right next to you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. See you in the next love story.